What if you could create hundreds of SEO optimized landing pages without spending hours copying and pasting and publishing them one by one? Programmatic SEO can bring a lot of traffic to your site, but the way that most people do it, it's painful, it's manual, and it's error prone. But today, I'm going to show you how you can do it the right way. We're going to be using three tools: Webflow, Airtable, and most importantly, WhaleSync. WhaleSync is the glue that makes this entire process easy. I'll walk you through the full step-by-step process on the screen. We have a whole live stream actually with Matthew, one of the co-founders of WhaleSync. You'll see exactly how you can do this from a blank page to a live programmatic site, even if you're a beginner. You're going to be learning these three main things throughout the video. Step one, we're going to show you how you head over to Webflow and design a single CMS template page. That one layout will automatically apply to every entry for your data found in Airtable, which brings us to step number two. We're going to show you how to create your content in Airtable. We're going to show you how to use that SEO rich data and how to scale it. Then we'll take you to step three. That's where all the magic happens, where we use WhaleSync to connect Webflow to Airtable. No code, no CSV, just real-time two-way syncing that keeps everything up to date. So if you're tired of the manual SEO grind and you want a setup that scales with you, stick around to the end because we'll walk you through step by step. So let's begin. I'm going to do front end. I'm thinking about first starting with Webflow, creating a page, and then kind of going from there. What do you think?
I think that's absolutely the right way to do it. And again, just for anyone that's less familiar, Webflow is just an awesome place to build websites. And if you're going to do programmatic SEO, starting with the website makes no sense to me.
Let's start with a brand new site here. And I'm thinking about if we start with the template. Let's use this one. Let's try it. It's got good enough animation. We can start with this. Okay. Okay. Docs Dapper site. Love it. There we go here.
Yeah, and again, while this loads, I'll say the food one's a really good example of, again, the power of programmatic SEO, in that you can imagine wanting to set up something that ranks for best sushi restaurant in every city in the world, but really with programmatic you can apply that to anything, right? So whether it's a law firm, you mentioned a school, right? Like whatever is beneficial to rank for a page of every city or every place in the world, programmatic is a really good option. So here's a good starting point for us, right? The best place to eat sushi in city. And the key thing to set this up programmatically, right? Like this is a single page. We now need to create sort of a template that we can take this and make 1,000 of these. The way that Webflow lets you do that is by creating a collection. So are you familiar with the CMS in Webflow?
Yes, briefly right here. So if I'm going to go into this section, so I'm in CMS, and then I would create a new collection here.
That's exactly it.
And then from here, I might call the collection, should I say food or should I say sushi in location, something like that? Something.
Yeah, I would call it either like locations or cities or whatever. What you tell me what the best sort of a way to split this up is, but yeah.
Let's do cities.
Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, if you want to create that collection and maybe we add one more field. So if you see below, it says name slug. We could add one more that's like short description, something like that.
And then for short description, probably like a plain text, something like that.
That's perfect. And we can make it a multi-line one just to make it give us a little more space here. And then just below it, you'll see like field type. There it is. Multi-line.
There we go. So I have short description here, save field.
And then on the top right, you want to hit create collection. Let's have it generate a couple sample items, right? Just so we can see how this works.
Cool. There we go. Miami, Houston, Chicago. We got it.
So this is the bit, and just to give the background, right? Like this collection list is going for every row here. It's going to create a page, right? We haven't set up the pages yet, but that's the goal, is that you'll have a Miami page, a Houston page, and then as many as you want. If you want to click out of the CMS and go back to that designer page, and now the three little bars on the left, in the left-hand sidebar, that's going to give you the navigator. Perfect. So let's just take the body there. If you click on body and see if you can copy that. So now you'll see where it says CMS collection pages, you'll see cities template. Basically, this is what gets automatically created by Webflow when we create a collection. So we've created the cities collection. This is now your template page that we can design one time and then use programmatic SEO to generate, a page for every single city. Now, of course, the template starts blank. So see if you want to click into the navigator and then click on the body and see if you can paste in that template again. So now the idea here is that, of course, like if you were building your own pages, you would design this in Webflow however you want. We're just using the template to try to speed things up for the case of this demo. But the idea is, you've got a page now that now you have, for every city, you have a page that says the best place to eat sushi in New York. Now, of course, you don't want it to say New York. You want it to say the thing that's specific to the city. So we can talk about how to do that. The way you do that is you connect different elements in this Webflow page to your CMS collection. So let's maybe just make it simple. If you click on this one here, you see the little settings icon next to each one display.
Right here with the gear icon.
Perfect. So now if you click on that little purple, yeah, there you go. And then if you want to click on name, there we go. So we'll talk about how to make this say the best sushi in city, but for now, just to give you a sense of how this works, you've now connected your templates to your CMS. So now this page says Miami. So you can hopefully start to see this is the bones of this whole programmatic site, right? You have a single template with now as many versions of it as you want. If you want to click below Houston to lorem ipsum on that there and do the same, why don't we connect that to the short description?
Let's do it. Got that short description right here.
Perfect. Cool. So that's the basic idea of how you kind of connect these here. And so just to even, again, pause here, like we're going to take this to the next level in a second, but if you were to go to the top right and hit publish on your Webflow site there and publish to selected domains, these pages are like, they're live, this is in 5 minutes or 10 minutes here, these are real live pages on the internet. If it works for you, we can start to talk about how to bring this into Airtable and kind of go from there.
We're going to sign in or create an account. So let's begin. We're going to sign in right here. We're going to create, and then we'll go from scratch.
Amazing. Let's just do 2 little housekeeping things, which is why don't we give that one a name instead of untitled base, just so it'll be easier to find later. That's perfect. And then last one is just on the Webflow. If you go back to Webflow and just republish your site. So before we kick off sort of the integration between Webflow and Airtable, we'll just want to make sure both sides are kind of ready for that integration. So yeah, if you click on publish on the top right of the screen, should be good to go there. But yeah, if it's good with you, we could hop into WhaleSync and basically show how to connect these 2 apps together so you can scale this up.
Okay, so let me log in real quick into my account.
So again, reminder, WhaleSync basically lets you set up a sync between 2 tools, and in this case, Webflow and Airtable. So yeah, if you want to hit new, let's go for it. And great, if you want to connect to Webflow first, that'll sort of be our initial app here. Authorize, and you'll want to just make sure to choose the site we're using, which I think is called Docs Tapper site. Continues perfect, and let's go ahead and do the same thing with Airtable. Perfect. Basically, WhaleSync is going to ask, do you want to sync some existing set of tables, or do you want to have WhaleSync create new ones? We highly recommend having WhaleSync create new ones, unless, again, you're coming to this with a specific setup in mind. So in this case, yeah, if you want to hit no and then continue, basically what this is going to mean is that WhaleSync will be able to take what we already have in Webflow and automatically create these tables in Airtable. So you don't have to do this manually. It's just all done for you. So cities, if you want to click that one, that's going to be the one we want to focus on here. And yeah, you can hit continue from there. Great. And then create tables. So again, WhaleSync is just going to go look at cities in Webflow and go set up something that's exactly the same over in Airtable. So you don't have to manually do this. In a second here, it'll wrap up. If you want to click on view there, it will basically just let you see what WhaleSync just did. There we go. So now we have a cities table with all those fields that are ready for syncing. And activate sync. And go ahead and confirm that. And WhaleSync will now initialize. This can take a minute or 2. But basically, it's going to start to scan all the data, those records that we have in Webflow, notice them, and then start to sync them into our Airtable with a 2-way sync. So we can now manage those cities directly from our Airtable spreadsheet. So again, yeah, give this another minute or so, and that'll start to boot up and start syncing.
Love it. So as this is going on, please let us know for your use case, how could you start using this for your business? What do you see it? Are you running a small business? Are you doing, let's see, pressure washing? Do you own a small business in town? Let us know what your use case would be so we can see how we can better use this for you. This is great. Okay, so we have this right here. We see the operations. We see all this good stuff.
I
This
love
is
it.
awesome.
So yeah, it's basically telling us that it synced those 5 records. You can see all those operations that are complete. So if you open up that Airtable, you can see what we got set up here.
Okay,
And
let's see over here.
there it is.
Easy.
So yeah, so now we have like what's very powerful at this is we have a two-way sync that's actually working. And so we can make changes now that will reflect in Webflow. So if you want to take as an example, the best sushi in Miami, why don't we just apply that to all the other, rows here, Los Angeles, Chicago, right? And, write whatever you really want here. It'll show up live.
Okay. So let's see. So we have best sushi in Miami. I can say now, let me ask you this, as we're going through this, as this test, should I just try to think about what the best optimized headline? Should I just try anything just to see if it reflects first? What would be the best way? Yeah.
Yeah, really good question. I would say maybe why don't we like change a record or two just so you can see the sync in action, and then we can start to get into how do we optimize these for SEO purposes? How do we really build this out?
Okay, cool. So if I'm looking at that, just making sure I have everything in place, right? So I am going to make sure that I go over to my site over here. My Webflow site right here. It's thinking about its life. Then what I'm going to do is go to my cities template. I'm going to see Miami right here. And then right here, maybe I'll say best food in Chicago, something like that, right?
Awesome.
If I can spell.
And what we can also do is maybe just for fun add one more city. So if you want to hit the little plus button at the bottom left there and add whatever your favorite city is. I love that. If you want to add a short description and a headline, just as an example to sort of see that all sync, I think that's good. So that looks good there. If you want to pop over to WhaleSync for a sec, just to sort of see what all these changes are doing there. So you can see here, WhaleSync is basically doing syncing all the data that we just changed. And so if you click into, let's say, some of these operations, like the latest Webflow Boston one, right? That will show you what WhaleSync has done, right? So here, WhaleSync updated the Webflow record, and then that updated the last updated field. It brought it back into Airtable, right? So you can kind of trace back anything that WhaleSync is doing through these operations. But yeah, if you want to go to Webflow, you'll need to refresh the page just to see the latest. But once you do, you should start to see Boston in here, and hopefully get a sense of, again, how easy it is to create new template pages once you've set up the infrastructure we just set up.
Okay, so we have that, and we refresh, and then we have, yep, and so it's all right there.
So that is, again, like if you've watched up to this point, you've now set up the infrastructure to build out programmatic SEO. And so the question from here is, okay, how many of these pages do I want? What do I want to display on these pages? You can really do anything you want and customize as, hopefully as you can see. So maybe, Doug, you tell me what would be best. We could talk about using either AI formula fields. You tell me what would be interesting to go from there.
I think it would be interesting to do AI formula fields. I think a lot of people are trying to use OpenAI, try to do all of these different things, or just in general, just have that for their business. So I think that would be a really cool use case, and see how we can plug that in and everything like that.
Awesome. So cool. If you want to go back to Airtable, the key thing here, right, is we now have, again, a place that we can add whatever we want, and this will be able to be displayed on our website. So we can add a new field here in Airtable that will let us essentially, let's build something with AI. Now, if you're on Airtable free, it's not going to give you access to Airtable AI, but if you want to hit the plus button on the top right, you can at least see what you could be doing. So if you click on AI there, you would go down this path if you were on a paid plan. Since you're not, we could talk about...
We can upgrade it real quick.
Sure. That might be easiest.
Okay, so we have AI, Airtable AI. Okay, great stuff. Let's do this thing now. Okay. Now we have dismiss chat. I forget they have all these new things that are in Airtable right now. Okay, so let's try this. I have a new column. I can now choose AI right here. Okay, let's do that. And then I have AI text, AI single select. Where should I go with here? What should I do
Let's
around
go
here?
with AI text. And again, just to zoom out for 1 second, talk about the benefit here and the use case, right? You're trying to generate a bunch of pages to rank on Google, right? So like so far, we've basically just shown you how to build the pages. Now the question is, okay, yes, I get it. I've watched, Doc and Matthew. I see that I could build 100 or 1,000 pages. Now, how do I actually get them to rank? Google doesn't really care, what is on your page in terms of how hard it was to build or how easy it was to build. It just cares, are you serving up good content to users, right? Are you helping them find the thing they want? And so if you think about someone who's searching for, best sushi in Miami, what is it that is going to be relevant to them, right? How can you have something on this page that's going to, kind of make them feel like, yeah, oh, this is what I want. And so, one thing that we could play around with here with AI is to say, let's rate something that's local to the city. Like instead of just saying, hey, you can find really good sushi, we can talk about something that's unique to Boston, to Miami, on each of these pages. So that might be a good one to just mess around with here.
Okay, so let's go for the first one. How about this for the field name? I'm just going to say AI description, city description, something like that.
Love it.
I'm going to put that in. There we go. And then for the custom instructions right here, I'm going to put that in, and I see where the brackets, I guess I'm going to have to make sure that the brackets would be, well, let's just type this real quick. So
Yeah.
I want to find something interesting about each unique city. Create a paragraph about each city.
Yeah, and maybe like, how about that? You just get more specific and say, write a subtext for an SEO landing page, right? That is trying to rank for best sushi in, and then insert the name field with that little insert field button.
Gotcha.
Right. But yeah, again, as anyone that's working with these AI fields, the more context you can give it, the better, of course. But the beautiful thing here is that you can insert these dynamic fields. So it's not just a general prompt, it gets customized for every single row based on the city here.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do, hold on 1 second. I am going to, discard, cancel. Let me do this real quick. I'm thinking about okay, put this right here. Sorry. And I'm going to pick name right here.
Perfect.
Okay. Now that we have that, it's going to be generating. Ooh, that's a lot. You know what? But it says SEO subtext. Discover Los Angeles, Hollywood glamour, diverse culture, and stunning beaches await you in Los Angeles. That sounds so much better.
Yeah, so maybe it's like that one, and we wanted to say like specifically we want to rank for the keyword best sushi in city, right?
Yep. Rank for the keyword best seafood in. Perfect. Yeah. There we go. Let me take that over there. Put that here. Okay. Generate. Let me see if I can zoom in.
Awesome. You can see how nice this little preview is that Airtable gives us. Here we go. Yeah, now we're talking.
Okay. Discover the best seafood in Los Angeles with fresh flavors and ocean. Wow. Okay. That sounds delicious. Okay. That's great. Explore top-rated restaurants and hidden gems offering exquisite seafood dishes in the heart of LA. I like it. I think that looks good.
Love it. Yeah, let's create that field. And I know we're up on time here, so we'll just kind of bring it into the Airtable lasso. If you want to hit generate on each of those, just so you can see it do its magic for every single city. And really the last step is just to talk about how we are going to bring this into our site. So first we're going to go into Webflow. We're going to add a new field like you did before, except for this time with AI description, right?
Gotcha. Okay, so, well, actually I could go to CMS.
Perfect.
And then what I want to do is I'm in the city, but I want to do for this collection, I want to change out the settings, right? Or here, then I'm going to add a new field here.
Perfect.
The new field will just say plain text, multi-line, and then I'm going to say AI generated description
Perfect.
or subline. Yeah, subline here. Okay. Save.
You'll need a save field first, and then
yes,
and then save collection, and then republish the site.
Back over here, publish.
Amazing. And now if you want to go back to WhaleSync, we're going to go add that field into our sync so that it actually comes across. So you see where it says table mappings there?
Yep.
I'm going to click that and then edit table mappings. And then you can pause the sync so we can edit it. And now on the top right, I'll say refresh. So we just want to give it a little refresh so that WhaleSync knows to see those new fields we just added. And now at the bottom, you can kind of map those fields together. So we can pick that AI one. There we go, AI Gen Subline, and the same thing on the other side, AI city description.
There we go. Yep.
Perfect. Now if you want to hit save and continue, and then once that loads in the top right, you'll be able to turn the sync back on.
Okay. Let's do that in a second. I think I did it.
Maybe that one more time.
There we go.
Cool.
And then we'll do activate sync.
Perfect. Great. And if you want to go back to the overview page in WhaleSync, it will.
There.
Great. So again, WhaleSync's going to initialize. It'll take a minute or two to boot up. It will start to see all of those AI-written pieces of text and then sync them into Webflow, which it's doing right now. And once that comes over in the operations, we can pop over to Webflow and just see the AI magic actually showing up live, which will be maybe the way to wrap it up here. So if you want to go to Webflow and just refresh, let it load, and we'll basically just do what we did before is we'll swap in. If you want to click on that sort of description text we previously had and switch it to the AI one. And
description right here.
Yeah. And then you click on that setting once it pops up.
Right here. Change it out, and we're going to change it to AI Gen Subline right there.
There we go.
And now we have it. Let me zoom in. So we have here, we have Boston. If we switch over to Chicago, and we already see that changing based on the location and everything like that.
Yeah, I'll just say, because it's all on Airtable, again, we did it with 5 just to get a sense. You can literally apply this to 1,000, and all of a sudden now you've got pages that would have taken months to build that are within minutes live and ready to rank.
Thank you so much for your time and energy, and we'll see you in the next episode.